Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox All In channel, host Sega Forever here. Brand new podcast for you guys today. Basically, an all in chat. Kind of want to get the usual suspects, the guys that drop by. Kind of want to get you guys' opinion on what's going on with Xbox. A lot of news with Xbox currently over the last several months, especially since they did a change of command. Basically, got brought somebody else on board, Asha Sharma. And I'm not gonna lie, dude, she hit the ground running. But like I said before in the video I did after she took over, kind of trust but verify type of attitude. That's kind of how I am. But I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the things that she's doing, she deserves credit for. I mean, like I said, hit the ground running is one thing, but to continue, right? To continue with that pace, with the Xbox brand has been, it's been good to see. I'm not gonna lie, right? I still have my reservations, right? Is that Starfield came out the other day for PlayStation 5, um, and we'll see what Xbox is going to do with that. Right? Are they going to continue to put their games on other consoles? Like what is exactly going to change when they format moving forward? Their format for their titles for Game Pass, how it's going to affect their distribution and all of that that entails. But for right now, man, it's going to be a pretty positive all in chat. Because I do like a lot of the stuff that they're doing, as you can see by the title, Xbox Redux. I feel like we're going back to 2015. And I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of Xbox One when it first released, as well as Xbox 360. Right. So just give me a few minutes, guys. We're gonna let this uh, let this podcast go on a little bit. Make sure I'm streaming. Oh, I can see my channel. We're good on that. I sent the feelers out to Hebot and Sega Man. Hopefully they can make it. I actually wanted to do this podcast earlier, but I had something to do. Something popped up, and had to knock that out real quick. And that's why the advertisement was for the podcast, but it didn't happen till now. So we are live right now, and I can see by my channel. Let me close this. I just want to make sure that it was working. See, StreamYard's going. Got all my stuff set up. Make sure that. Yeah, looks like we're all on. Looks like everything's running. So yeah, sorry, I'm so out of touch with this stuff, guys. I don't do videos like I used to. Kind of want to talk about that, man. Quick little channel update. Sorry that the videos don't come out consistently. I don't get to do a lot of the videos that I want to do because of time. Um, as you guys know, in my New Year's resolutions, what is it, April? Yeah, I want to talk about that this month, probably at the end of the month or in a couple weeks. Let you guys know where I'm at right now. Because it's been very interesting to say the least. Every time you guys do, every time you might do a New Year's resolution, right? You always got to give yourself a little bit of space. You set your goals, right? A couple milestones that you want to do. But for me, man, a lot has changed right now personally. Still been able to maintain, but it's interesting how you have to be. And I tell my kids this all the time. You have to be flexible. You have to be fluid because you never know what could happen, and it could be something bad. It could be something good. But either way, it's gonna have an impact on either your life, your schedule, your relationships, all that kind of stuff. So, I was just I'm more in tune with politics now than I've ever been because of all the stuff that's going on, spiritually as well, and not just my relationship with God as a Christian, but just things of a spiritual nature, right? And I'm not talking about New Age stuff, guys. I'm talking about spirituality that revolves around um, biblical aspects of my life. Okay, so don't worry, I'm not no New Age person, right? I'm not going down that road. In fact, I've been kind of surprised that a lot of people who are New Age, who dabble in witchcraft and alternate realities and lifestyles, are actually coming around to biblical knowledge and being exposed to the Bible and Jesus and changing their lives around. Because there's a lot of unknowns out there, right? And again, I know I wanted to talk about this stuff on my channel, but it is my channel. When it comes to gaming, it's easy for me to talk about gaming because I've been doing this my whole life. When it comes to something on a more serious nature or something that you need to be a little bit more accurate with, that's where I have a problem. And now with the being accurate or anything like that, it just takes more time, right? I can talk about gaming. I could just throw on a podcast like I'm doing right now, I've planned this out a little bit, but not really. And I can do this podcast talking about gaming because we can talk about current events and everything like that. Because I do keep up with it. Even on the even on the level that I do, I can still talk about it because this is my lifestyle. Like I tell you guys, same thing with pop culture. It's a lifestyle for me. I wish I could give you guys the bells and whistles, man. There's a lot of respect to all the people out there that are doing their thing, right? They're putting the time and energy, and even the people that get it wrong, right? When you listen to them and stuff like that, I do appreciate the fact that to be a content creator, there has to be a little bit of creativity. You have to have a little bit of talent. You definitely have to be comfortable on camera. None of those things are me. The only reason why I do these things is, like I said, it's my sounding board. It's kind of like my own personal diary, and I get to talk to a lot of people like you guys out there in the community. So that's why I do it. But kudos, man. There's a lot of channels stepping up right now, doing the Lord's work when it comes to Xbox. Been enjoying some of the content out there. Still got a lot of fake representation out there. Again, take everything out there with a grain of salt. You should already know that as an Xbox guy. It's never been an easy road for us in the gaming industry, especially when it comes to the media, especially when it comes to other gaming communities. So you have to be aware, in my opinion. Right? But it's nice to see people putting out information out there. It's really great to see people being excited about Xbox again. I know I went through my little phase, but like I said, I'm honest with you guys 100% as far as the direction they were going. But again, as you can see, Xbox Redux, it looks like Xbox is going in a whole new direction. And I encourage them to do that. I know I ranted a little bit on the last video I did with Hebot, talking about what I want them to do, what I want them to see, and it's no different than anything I've been saying for the last several years. Right? I have a more emphasis on it because it looks like they are course correcting, but they got to do it right. I'll just be honest with you guys. They have to do it right. They just can't do this, like they're just throwing crumbs, right, to their fan base, man. They really need to take this stuff seriously, do some deep soul searching, which I think they have, and come out with a solution, both for themselves as well as their fans and consumers, right? And one of the things they really need to do is they need to take a lot of the stuff that's going on in the gaming community a lot more seriously, especially when it comes to their brand. Um, Gaming culture, they want to be. I encourage them to continue to do what they do because they're getting back into it, right? As like what we're going to talk about today, basically was the achievements that was shown, or the news that concerning achievements and how they're going to actually upgrade them, rework them, and they're basing off of the community feedback, gamer feedback, and I think that's great, right? Because a lot of the stuff they're doing is based on that. Be a little bit wary though, for those of you guys at Xbox who are doing these kind of things. Know who your fans, who your consumers are, and definitely know who the haters are, right? Because this is the problem that Phil then went through in 2015 through 2018 transition, right? And one of the great things that happened under Phil's leadership was that they turned it around and they were addressing all the issues head on, right? Head on with open dialogue, in all honesty, right? They tackled it head on and they addressed everything, right? But as an Xbox guy sitting here, even during that time period, right? Me, he bought a bunch of the guys that were in the community at the time, watching what they were doing, but then also realizing that they were doing the things that people were saying. But at the end of the day, they never realized that some of these people were not their fans, and definitely were not their consumers. Right? There's whole channels that built their very existence on just hating Xbox, and I think that's something that Phil's team, Phil and Sarah, never picked up on, or if they picked up on it, they didn't want to really rock the boat or do anything about. And now that they're going in this direction, again, Redux, we're going back to that 2015 to 2017 timeframe where Xbox is addressing the things that their fans and the consumers who actually have their consoles, play their games, support them, and actually are in the ecosystem. They're addressing those concerns. But I just, throw caution to the wind, man. Some of these suggestions, some of these people that are going to come out of the woodworks, right? They don't have your best interests. They don't have the interests of your consumers or your fans. They actually hate you guys. So I hope they learned that lesson. And because I'm not complaining about what Phil did, man. They hit it out of the park. And Phil was looking at stuff on a whole nother level, and I thought that was good, right? Because I was along for that, right? 100%, all in. Especially when they started picking up developers and stuff like that. For me, like that's one of the things that Xbox did that was bad. They never continued with that. But of course, I think with Phil in charge, they wouldn't do that because, they have to be militant about it. If I'm being honest, right? It's something that they did that I think, console war stuff, all of that stuff aside, I think it would have just been better for the industry as a whole, right? Because having Sony being like the supposed hegemon of the gaming industry, it does not serve the community of gamers well at all. Right? If you want to implement certain changes, if you want to support your developers, if you want to change the demographic, toxicity, whatever stuff that you guys believe in, you have to take the lead first. You know what I'm saying? You have a company like Sony that just, like Sega Man said in his latest video, just ride the coattails and they just copy. That's all they do, and it's worked for them. So I can't hate on them for that. It is what it is, but moving forward, man, that's the one thing I feel like they should be focusing on. Their brand, right? Getting things back to good. They're showing all indications that it's happening, right? Like what you saw, if you didn't see the article, here, let me pull it up real quick. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Let me do this. I'm sure you guys can see it, right? Right. This is from Windows Central. Some of the stuff that's on Windows Central I don't really care for. I'm not a big fan of just Gordon, but they've been putting out the info out there. So again, trust but verify. But again, here we go. Xbox finally gives achievements the overhaul fans have begged for. I believe they have it in the Insider program right now, with some stuff coming really soon. I think stuff like this is important, right? Because this is stuff that, when it comes to achievements and stuff of that nature, they have people that are just hardcore achievement people. I told you guys I'm not much of an achievement hunter. I'm actually not an achievement hunter at all. If it happens, it happens. But I think the only thing I did was for Left 4 Dead. I think I had to kill was it 10? I want to say 10 million or 100,000 zombies. It was like some ridiculous number of zombies, right? And I noticed, right, that I was right there. And so I played like 4 or 5 games just me trying to get that kill count up, right? Instead of playing it like I normally do. And the only reason I was able to get that number was just because I played Left 4 Dead constantly. I played it all the time. Like I was addicted to that game. And so what I did was, in order to get the points, because I was almost there, I just played one specific stage. Because on that stage, you'd hit these choke points where you would be getting mobbed by zombies. And like one of the spots was there's a minigun, and you just sit there, and it would just go on forever, man. You just got a lot of kills. And I got the achievement. That's the only time I can remember that I ever cared about getting an achievement. And again, so like when I'm playing a game and an achievement pops up, I can appreciate it. I love the sound, right? When the diamond comes up and it makes that distinctive sound, that's really cool. I enjoy all of that stuff, right? You can look at your achievement list and stuff like that. I think it's cool. I think it's great that they have that. There's people that really, really enjoy it, and I think that's good for them. There's just casuals like me when it comes to achievements that we see it popping up, especially when the achievement is quirky or has a little bit of an attachment to something that's nostalgic, like pop culture, or has something that's really specific of the game that makes sense, right? Like kicking chickens with Fable, for a perfect example. There was an achievement for that, right? And I think the reason why is because it ingratiates the game to the actual person playing it, right? I told you guys on this channel, one of the things that's bad about pop culture, and I'm talking across the board, is that it's that escapism is being lost, right? And anything that can give you that feel, anything that can get you into the game, the characters, the story, the world, all that stuff, I'm 100% for. And it stands aside from the fact that a person might like a game or not. That's not what I'm talking about. Right? I'm just talking about overall, the experience that you have. Right? But as the article says, achievements have been a core part of the Xbox experience since the Xbox 360 days. So that's what I was saying a little bit earlier, right? It's like they're definitely doing the Xbox 2015 to 2017 years. But I would say Xbox One, and I'll talk a little bit about that in detail, but definitely Xbox 360. In fact, there's an article I saw where somebody was saying Asha Sharma was quoted as saying that blades are cool, or she tweeted something about blades, the 360 blades. And there's a lot of stuff about the 360 that made it popular that I think they could bring back. update it for the current time, right? But bring it back and get that community growing because you want people in the ecosystem. And a lot of stuff that the Xbox has been doing, as far as the ecosystem is concerned, has not been very good, in my opinion. Right. And I think that's something that they could look at. And I'm not saying, look, you can't go all the way back in time and things have changed, right? Technology has caught up. There's a lot of things that the 360 offered that it's just commonplace right now. So how special can you make it? I'm not saying don't do it, but you're gonna have to take a hard look at all that stuff, man, and come up with something creative, something new, something fresh, right? But I think they can do it, man. And those the steps that they're taking right now is the stuff that they can do, and the ecosystem that they can operate with the features and bringing it back, right? It's a no-brainer to me, and that's why they're pulling from the community because the community has been asking for some of this stuff for a long time across the board. So it looks like it shows that they're listening. But more importantly, it shows that they're in tune with what's going on with Xbox and what they want Xbox to be. And I'm all for it. I encourage them to keep on doing that. I think that'll serve them well, serve their fan base well, right? And in the end, man, actually serve the industry. Because there's a lot of stuff that Xbox does and Xbox did back in the day from for the very first Xbox, the original OG Xbox, to the 360 that had ramifications for the industry as a whole that is still being used today. And so when Asha talks about the rebels being the pioneers, all that stuff she said, that's what it means to me. For them to get out in front of everybody. And they normally are, but they gotta capitalize it on number one, and they have to support it, number two, and they have to go to war. There's no way around it, you guys. Right? There's a narrative out there about Xbox, the community, their games, their consoles, everything, that they have to smash. They have to destroy it. Or all of this stuff will be for nothing, in my opinion. Right? Achievements have been a core part of Xbox experience since the 360 days, 2 decades ago, but throughout that time, they've been updated very little, and fans have wanted the achievement system to get an overhaul of some sort for years, and at long last, one is finally coming. Microsoft announced a series of improvements made to the achievements on Wednesday morning. And that's another thing, man. When they do these announcement, they just drop it, and it's fast. It's like, boom, here we're going. Boom, this is what we're doing, right? And I follow Asha on Twitter. It's really cool. That she'll make the announcements herself a lot of the times. There might be leaks and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, she gets ahead of stuff too. Very active, very proactive too. So they said it'll gradually roll out to additional Xbox insiders over time, with broader availability coming later to all players, right? So that'll probably be. I wonder if they're talking about when is E3? April, May. Oh, E3 is in May, right? That'd be cool if it was at E3. But maybe at the end of the year, fall, maybe. I don't know. I mean, depending on the changes and what they want to do overall, it might take some time to integrate a lot of that stuff. But I'm all for it, man. I think they need to do it. It's almost like a rebirth for them, right? So a lot of the stuff that they're doing right now is just good indicators of the direction that Xbox is going right now as a console, I know, as a brand. I think it's important. So the core revamp, complete visual refresh for unlocking achievements that includes new icons and animations for classic and rare accomplishments. That's cool. You can match your chosen custom color for your Xbox user interface. I think that's cool too. And that's being tested right now. They say, what else? 2 new features are coming. The first is the ability to hide games from your achievement list if you want to, which may come in handy if you want a cleaner look for your profile. That only shows games you care most about. Yeah, I think that's good because I'm kind of like Sega Man. I kind of fell off the horse though because I just can't try every single thing. But guys like Sega Man who try every single game in Game Pass, that kind of clutters your achievements. Right? For me, I don't really care, right? But if you do want it to be clean, if you like your stuff a certain way, right? And I heard somebody in the chat talking about because it's embarrassing because you're not playing the complete game. It looks like and again, that's a console war thing too, or it used to be, right? Like for me personally, I just want a cleaner experience. I don't care if I finish a game or not. Right? I play the games that I like to play, and then the games that I play it the way that I like to, right? And that's the biggest problem for me when it comes to finishing games, right? Because a lot of games I play, there's really no finish to them. Like Call of Duty, you can finish the campaign, right? But a lot of times I'll play a Call of Duty game and I'll just have to focus on one like maybe one weapon, like a gun. Right? Like I'll just say like the AK-47. I want to level it up. I want to get all the color patterns, right? I want to get all the attachments, yada yada yada. You want a prestige, right? So that's how like sometimes like I'll have maybe there's like 100 something achievements on something, but then I spent hours upon hours on the game. Like I'm playing Star Island right now. Star Island, I like to do things at my pace and go because the way the game is, there is a story to it. One of the amazing things about the game is they're able to encompass a lot of different things. They have a story mode, they have a natural progression mode. There's all these things you can do, and I'm doing them because you kind of have to play the game, and for the game to progress to do the other stuff that I like. But it never forces you, right? So for me, playing a game like that, I like to do things a little bit more slowly. I like to like for example, you need supplies in the game, right? What I like to do is have certain set amount of supplies, like maybe have 100. What is it? Let's just pick 100 wheat, right? And that's just the way I am. Dude, somewhat of a hoarder, right? So I get 100 wheat, but when I have to do something, right? If I have to bake bread or I have to use the wheat for something else, I always have it in stock, and then I always keep it at minimum. So I have no problem just spending all day just growing stuff, right? And that takes a lot of time. But that's how I game, dude. That's how I play the game. If I'm being honest, right? So again, dude, it's the attitude of the people at Xbox right now that are doing the things the way that they want to do them, or that the way the fans want it to be, and I think that means a lot. And I hope they continue it. What else we got here on the achievements? Let's go over this real quick. Yeah, cleaner look, which I think is cool. You earn achievements in a game you'd rather people didn't know you played. Yeah, I think Sega Man was talking about that playing Barbie, right? So he says he plays different games, so you expect to see Barbie. What is that Barbie game that's in Game Pass right now? Will probably be on his playlist, dude. I have no shame. I don't care. If I want to play Barbie game, I'll play it. Dude. But it's not. Look, people do licensed game all the time. There's games that appeal to people, games that don't. Like I finally played. Like I told you guys, I played the new Warhammer game that dropped in the Xbox, and I should have bought it. After I played the game, I said this. I should have bought this day one. That game is that good, right? So again, at the end of the day, options. That's what I think it really matters. You're giving people options because there are people that do feel that way. Because some people just do it because they want to get every month you get the bonus, right? Every month you can play 4 games, 4 games a month to get bonus points, or 8 games a month to get bonus points, right? So sometimes you got to play the Barbie horse game, man. It's just for 15 minutes, you know what I mean? Because you're going to get the monthly bonus and you're going to get the Game Pass bonus. And I know this stuff because I'm constantly using my Game Pass. What else we got? Secondly, any 100% completed games you've earned. All available achievements and will be highlighted in your achievements list, which Microsoft says give you a quick, at-a-glance way to celebrate full completion. This list is also being given new filter of options to make finding games you've unlocked all achievements easier. I think this is a great idea as well. Right? I think one of the things that was kind of, or at least that I remember back in the day, is people would weaponize this kind of stuff, and then they would say who's a gamer, who's not a gamer, and stuff like that. Look, dude, I have my own opinions of what a gamer is, right? Which really has nothing to do for me about finishing or completing games. It has more about being in the culture of gaming, understanding certain things about what gaming is and what being a gamer is. That's what has always mattered to me. So for this kind of stuff, I could care less if you finish your games. It's your games, right? If you want to finish them, finish them. If you don't, you don't. Now, something could be said for somebody who reviews a game and don't finish a game, right? This is something that I've talked about on my own channel, on other videos. There's a lot of times I won't do the game of the year videos because I'm only an Xbox guy, right? All I play is on my Xbox. Oh, hopefully I'm still there, guys. Hope you guys can see me. Oh, I lost it. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this won't be a long video today either, guys. Well, look, I'll go for as long as I can because I really do want to talk about this stuff. Um, but if the feed dies, sorry, man. We're currently getting a monsoon here where I am. Woke up this morning, was expecting rain. The sun popped up actually, so that's why I was telling you guys I have to run and go get some stuff done, right? And it was crazy because everybody had the same idea. Like I wanted to go shopping. I went to the Costco nearest to me, dude. It was jam packed full of people. Naturally, right? Because we've had rain nonstop, so people are trying to put in gas, right? People are trying to get some food because they haven't shopped for a couple of days. Because we've been having like really bad flooding, and we had flooding like a couple of weeks ago. That was really bad. This one's not as bad, but because we got flooded before, it doesn't help either. You know what I'm saying? So if my internet goes out, and then shout out to the state of Hawaii and City and County. I give them a lot of crap. I'm not gonna lie, but they were out there in full force, man, prepping for the storm that was coming. Because they didn't do it the last time it happened, and there was a lot of damage, right? And the spotlight was on them because if they had done some simple maintenance, man, they wouldn't have been as bad for most people. So again, that's probably why I'm having internet connection issues. There's a video playing. I should have stopped it. That's another problem. Just to wrap up, yeah, man, this thing is like, you know what it is, dude? It's probably this website. So overall, this is a nice revamp with several new visuals and quality of life improvements. But there's further good news. More is on the way. Xbox devs have noted that this update is one of our first steps so players can look forward to further additions and enhancements in the future. This is a small but meaningful step in a broader set of improvements we're making to achievements, wrote the Xbox team. We're continuing to explore new ways to recognize completion and milestone moments over time, and this update is one of the first steps towards those moments. Hold on. Man, dude, this thing is bad. This was further confirmed by the new Xbox CEO, Arsha Sharma, in his social media post. We stood up a dedicated team to focus. Oh, yeah, I heard it. I seen this. We stood up a dedicated team to focus on fan feedback. Here are a few achievement updates rolling out today. More coming soon. Right. Again, me and Hebot was talking about this, right? What you're seeing. I wish my brother was here because he could expound on it a whole lot better than I could. But me and Hebot talked about this, and we put it out there, dude. And I know we got some flack, but I don't care because I'm going to be home 100% with you guys on this channel, right? Right. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about gaming culture. Right? A lot of stuff that they're doing right now is what made Xbox what it is, and somewhere along the line they lost that perception with the brand. Okay, and so when all of this stuff happened with Phil, and again with Sarah, and again, no hate towards Phil, dude. Phil is the man, dude. Phil came in and took the Xbox brand and ran with it, and he did more than anybody could have ever done. Given that point in time, the stuff they were going through, he was the right man for the job. Okay, definitely. Nothing but respect. Kudos to Phil's, man. With the exception of maybe one or two things, always put him on a pedestal. Right, one of the best Xbox guys, CEOs out there. Much respect. No hate towards Sarah, dude. Sarah took what she wanted. She came in for a particular purpose. She formulated a plan. She ran with it. It just didn't work out at the end of the day. Right, and I'm a huge supporter of Sarah, still am. Did not care for the Xboxes and everything kind of deal. And for me, tried to give it a chance, right? Tried to sit back and try not to overreact like other people. Being an Xbox guy, bleeding green, man, a lot of people is giving them crap. A lot of it unnecessarily, right? They have their suite of haters out there, right? But much respect to Sarah. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And something happened again. I said this on other videos. Something happened at Xbox that they realized was not working out, and they did a total shift. So when you hear all this stuff happening, right? This is the culture, guys. If you guys are not ingrained with this kind of stuff, dude, you're gonna miss it. It's gonna go over your head, right? Now, I have a problem with doing. I could have a problem, right? I'll admit being too ultra focused on this stuff. That's just the way I am. But if you're not paying attention to this stuff, man, you'll miss it, right? And it's obvious right now with a lot of the stuff that they're doing. Again, if you notice on social media, if you're on social media like I am, and the funny thing is, I'm not even on social media mostly for games. You guys know I have a political bent for my channel. It's all about the politics. It's all about what's going on in Iran, right? This is why I can tell you why your oil prices are expensive and what it is. What does it take to change it? It's not going to be easy. Some of this stuff you just got to suck it up and deal because we made bad choices for over 2 decades, right? I can sit here and tell you all this stuff. That's what I'm more in tune with. The gaming stuff just happens, right? Because I'm just a part of that ecosystem with the Xbox. So I see it all, and that's how we can talk about this kind of stuff, right? But once you do, if you're on social media and you're following Xbox and you see what's going on, you see a lot of the old heads, whether it be Peter Moore, right? Whether it be Larry Herb, man, on my timeline, rarely saw stuff from him, right? And now he's been tweeting out stuff left and right. You see that they're I don't know, and I'm not saying that Microsoft is doing this on purpose. I think it'd be a great idea if they did, right? But knowing the Xbox guys or these old school guys, they're just chiming in, and I'm all for it, man, because it's a good reminder of what Xbox used to be and what they need to become again, and then taking that and running with it. Right? And again, man, that's why you guys gotta know this kind of stuff. Now, look, I'm not talking to the just the casual person that just wants to just like the price of Game Pass or the fact that Game Pass gives their first party title games, at a monthly price with all the other stuff they drop, whatever particular reason you like them, or you just like the fact that the games that they have. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who are invested in this, um, into this console, into this company the way that we are. Like why I do these videos, why we talk about it, why people will attack me when I'm on social media, right? Which I don't care about, right? Because look, dude, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't feel a lot of people can tell me anything when it comes to gaming. I'll listen to you. I'll hear your opinion, right? But then a lot of times when I hear people's opinion, right, it's grounded in a lot of stuff that they only know about because somebody told them, or else they read it somewhere, as opposed to people who I hang out with who actually do these things and participate in it. Right? So I've been liking what Xbox has been doing on the corporate side, um, getting back with the community, and a lot of these old school Xbox guys are coming on and talking about it. And look, some of them are just giving their own opinions, right? That's why I don't think it's something that Microsoft is doing, as some people are suggesting. Maybe they had a talk with them. I don't know. All I know is that they have their own opinions and it's varied. Well, the one thing I like about it is they're talking about the Xbox as how it was when they were there and what it can be again. Right? Because it's just twofold, man. You want to get back the community. You want to bring back these features. You want to get, and I'll talk about this stuff in right after I finish this. Right, we'll go into another one, right? Because this is the reason why I'm doing this video. Because I was happy to see that they're going to do something with the achievements. Because it gives me hope moving forward that they're going to do other things that I would like to see personally. Stuff I talked about on this channel, and I will be repeating myself, right? But again, just be in tune with that, man, because it does matter at the end of the day, right? You have a group of people in gaming, man, that just wants to destroy gaming. I told you guys, man, there's some guys that I follow because I like their political takes and I like their politics when it comes to gaming. But at some point in time, um, for me, the mask came off because I actually like the game. I don't want the industry to die, right? I want them to thrive. But I do understand, and I agree with most people, that the problem is some of the choices that they've made, right? Now, just because they made those choices, dude, I don't need them to be destroyed or punished, right? They're already doing that to themselves, right? Right? They lost the narrative with the things that they were doing, man. They forgot what they who they are, what they're supposed to be doing. At the end of the day, like Seamus Blackley said, man, and he said it, exponentially, dude. He said at the end of the day, right, you're an entertainment company. Yes, they make games. Yes, they make consoles, but they gotta entertain, right? And entertain in the fact that when you gotta present a product to people. Um, hey, what's up, Emily Jack? Uh, Probably because I'm not sure who you are, but thanks for being here. Why aren't you replying? Now go ahead, post out. This is an all-in chat, so whoever comes in the chat, you can say whatever you want. Um, but so that's the right. It's good to see them taking these steps back, and then moving forward. We'll see what they do. Right? Because for me personally, like I said, the achievements is one thing. I don't I don't do the achievements on the level that other people do, and that's fine. I don't have to do that. But what the achievements show, and they're addressing that kind of stuff, the stuff that they're doing with their games, the backwards compatibility news that Sega Man was talking about, I think that's great. Right, bringing that stuff back, getting back to, um, getting back to that focus, right, of what made them, basically, why their fans like that, what made them actually successful, right? Uh, why aren't you replying? What's your name? Yeah, it should be on the screen. Can you see it? Right there. Sega Forever. And then, yeah, just what? Do you game? This is a gaming podcast, by the way. If you're just dropping it, and it's predominantly Xbox. Okay. So again, it gives me hope because I want them to go back and revisit some of the stuff that they were doing prior to them ultra focusing on being being the protector of the gaming industry, quote unquote, right? And so one of the things, I'll use achievements as an example. I remember when I had my 360. There was a time when I remember looking at my dashboard, and then an achievement popped up, and what that achievement was for was Netflix, right? Like you watched so many hours of Netflix, and you got an achievement for that. And then I remember and I think I might have been in that insider program because all I remember is they were focusing on achievements that you do just using your Xbox 360, right? And I thought that was genius, right? Because with the 360, as you guys know, a lot of people use the 360 for stuff other than gaming. It was the forerunner to a lot of the stuff that people are doing right now. That's why the hypocrisy of the Xbox One when it first came out, what people were critiquing it and hating on it for, and absolutely tried to destroy the Xbox One, was a lot of the stuff that people were already doing on the 360, right? And Xbox should have took care of that back then. They did not, right? They paid a terrible price for that, and then from 2013 to 2026, we're still here. This is what we're dealing with. Not on the same level. Why are you live? No one is watching. Like I mean, only you have one viewer. Yeah, I know. I actually talked about that earlier in the podcast. Too bad you weren't there, Emily. I don't care how many people watch me. This is kind of therapy for me too, because I like to talk about this stuff. There's people with millions of viewers, man, and they don't know what they're talking about. So I don't care how many people I have watching. I used to have like just haters coming in here. I actually miss them, but it's easy to destroy people because a lot of them just talk about stuff that they only hear secondhand, which is unfortunate. Because if you're a gamer and you don't have an Xbox, you're missing out on a lot. Now, for me to say that as a person who only focuses on Xbox, I talked about that as well. Because Xbox is my system of choice, right? And there was a concentrated effort back in after 2013 to end the Xbox brand, right? So if I have a choice about where I like to play, that's why I don't have no hate for if you just like playing PlayStation, right? Or if you just like playing Nintendo, I don't care. I do care though if you try and push false narratives, or if you have you want to destroy the company and the console that I like playing on. That's where I have problems with people. Just stay in your lane, play your games, support your company, right? Don't be lying or playing false information, which they all do. Even the gaming media does that, so it don't matter to me. Yeah, but I remember that on the 360 because I said this before. When I played on my 360, most of my friends on the friends list didn't play games. They played one or two games and then they were watching Netflix. Right? And then transitioning to actually having a store, all that stuff was fresh back then. There's critiques about it back in the day, right? Because gamers are gamers, we don't do all this other stuff. But unfortunately, for a lot of us gamers, or not unfortunately, but for those type of gamers, right, the cast was already died. The die was already cast, and things are changing. And Xbox embraced that, and so this is why I like seeing them doing these things, man, because there's unfinished business when it comes to the Xbox brand, right? So this Redux that they're doing, I want to see them do it, and I want them to see that. I want to see them do it right, because a lot of the stuff that was told to them about what people wanted and what they didn't want was all a pack of lies. They should have just listened to their fan base, and their fan base was divided on some stuff too. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, your fan base sticks with you, whether they like what you do or not. Like me, like some of the stuff they do, I didn't agree with, right? But like I told you guys, man, this is it for me, man. This is where I'm at. This is what I do, right? This is where I'm gonna gain. That's all I care about at the end of the day. and I'll be gaming until the to the brand. So whatever happens with Xbox happens, then I'm out. I mean that, right? So for me, seeing them do the achievements, revisiting some of this stuff, I want them to go back and start connecting achievements to more than just the games, because I think they had something that was pretty was actually would have been genius back in the day, right? Because I remember doing that, dude. I got an achievement for it. It was there. It was on my board. I remember how the 360 was back in the day, man. You could see what people were doing. People had no problem. It was at the height of social media, so it kind of incorporated it into the Xbox. Xbox already was the first company to put Netflix on blast, right? I mean the right way. I think PlayStation has some option, whatever. But every the way that the Xbox was created, especially with their uh, services and stuff like that, dude, it was a no brainer. Right? And unfortunately, I wish they would have carried on with that. They kind of did with the Xbox One, but because of all the hate the Xbox One got, dude, it was sad. We had to connect. I mean, I'm not. What I would like to see them do is kind of revisit that stuff, look at it honestly, not let these people hate, and let the community decide, right? Because in some aspects, the Connect was facing future, right? And so what ends up happening, a lot of that stuff the Connect was doing, a lot of people went ahead and did it anyway. Right? And for me, that's the bad thing about the gaming community right now, because you can't really try something. Like if you don't like something, man, doesn't mean it sucks. It just means you don't like it. There might be somebody else that might like it that's out there, and that's the shame of this stuff, right? It's just that so much has been lost because of people because of that narrative that was out there. Who knows how far Xbox 360 could have gone even more? Because that brand, that console lasted a long time, and for good reason. The transition to Xbox One was to take it to the next level, and I never got to see that again. Xbox All-in channel. I wanted it to be the ultimate all-in box, right? Having interactivity with something like your achievements, right, on a level that goes beyond what it was before, like with some of the stuff that they're doing now, giving you different options, giving you more control, right? That should have been a natural progression from the 360 to the one to where we are now, but you never got that, right? Because we hit this roadblock of people, we hit this wall technically of people that just were hating on the brand, and unfortunately, Microsoft gave them way too much credit, and listened to them, listened to all the wrong people. So hopefully with Asha, they'll start listening to the right people. Because I want to see that. I want to see achievements expand beyond. You want people in your ecosystem, right? You want people to maintain your ecosystem, right? There's people that have your console that do more than just game. Bring them in. They were right on point on the 360. The Xbox One would have been another culmination of that, right? So if you're gonna go back in time, take the stuff, and that's what they look like they're doing to me. They're taking the stuff that they never had a chance to really explore, never had a chance to finish, stuff that I think that'll bring the brand back and make people want to interact with it more, right? Because all the stuff they did that they got hate on, everybody else is doing it now. It's unfortunate we kind of missed the time. That's why I say all the time. Sometimes you can't go back, man. You miss something, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate that it's like that, right? But hopefully they can course correct. I like the direction they're going in because I want to see the whole enchilada, man. There's so much stuff. The picture stuff was brilliant. Maybe bring that back. I don't know why we don't. Microsoft doesn't have their own recording system for people both on PC and on console, right? I miss their music service. You have an ecosystem, man. I would because with the 2013 they were exploring the entertainment options, and I didn't have a problem with it, right? They got sidetracked because a lot of people were talking about how they like to play games. Now we now in 2026, all that is BS. They didn't mean that crap because nobody plays games. Look at all the narrative about the AAA games, or you need to get studios that produce your AAA games. It needs to be specifically for a console, right? And none of that, that was all lies, right? There might be people that felt that way, but there was also people that hated you, right? And the loudest voices are the ones you shouldn't. A lot of times, those loudest voices are the ones you shouldn't listen to, the most, right? Especially if they don't have your best interests at heart. So they damage your brand and they hurt your consumers and your base, and this is why we are where we are. So go back, look at the stuff that works, like what you're doing with the achievements, man. Hopefully you guys will start doing that with other stuff. I talked about stores, the stores and within stores concept, right? Man, I should have wrote this stuff down because there's a bunch of other stuff I wanted to talk about. I want you guys to revisit that social media hub that you guys had. I want you guys to bring back your entertainment division, right? I see you guys want to do something, that you're doing stuff, but it's better if you have control of it, dude, and go all in on it. right? Don't half-ass it. That's the problem with what was going on with the Xbox One, right? They blinked, right? They flinched. They should have had more belief in the stuff that they were doing, right? Again, you know, the brand is important, gaming is important, and stuff like that. But then I hope you guys look at the complete picture, right? Because what you guys had could have set you guys up um, for console dominance. Oh, what is this? For console dominance, even until now, right? Stay fluid. Do keep on doing the good stuff that you guys are doing, right? But anyway, dude, I do like the direction that we're going in, dude. I think it's important. I think it matters. I think they're on the right track. I just want them to continue to do it, but to do the whole thing, just the full picture. I want to see it, right? Like for example, they have E3 coming up, and I want them to go back. This is their anniversary year, right? This is a big anniversary for them, right? And for us as fans, right? I want to see them go all in, man, on E3, dude. Like I said all the time, dude, they could literally do their own E3 with all the stuff that they have. Look at all the information that's dropping, right? They got their Forza stuff dropping. State of Decay 3 is dropping, dude. The Game Pass has been all a buzz because all the stuff that's dropping in Game Pass, which they always do. Now, granted, April's pretty loaded. They've had months that have been way better than others, but at the end of the day, dude, there was nothing that was negative about any month of Game Pass that I saw. Because even if at the front end you didn't look at a game that you liked, by the time you got to mid month, there was something that would drop, and by the end of the month, you had a bunch of games that you were struggling to find time to play. That's what I'm doing right now. Right? You can get two Yakuza games in there. You got the Warhammer game. Right? That's why some people are like, "Oh, a week of nothing." And I think today that book game dropped that everybody's talking about, and I'll try it. I'll try anything. And there's nobody that can touch them on that stuff, dude. So take what you're doing, maintain that, or go. I can't see how much more they can do with Game Pass. There's some stuff I can see them doing, but what they're doing now, dude, is awesome. But what they need to focus on is getting again the culture back into the brand, right? Making people excited, like with the achievements, right? Like with the tabs, right? Like maybe start doing stuff with hardware. That would be cool. Now again, it's easy for me to sit here, right, and talk about this kind of stuff, but like I'd like to see. Right? And I'm not saying stuff that other people haven't said also, right? Because if you're a fan, dude, you know this stuff. Right? A lot of us buy their controllers, man. They buy their consoles, their unique stuff. Right? I'd roll the dice on that kind of stuff, dude. You can make money from the scalpers alone. Dude, I make like what? I make a say like do something with Sega, make a Yakuza console, make about 10 million units, put it out there. Let the I want to say how much I'm putting out, but you put it out there as a limited edition. Let the scalpers take the front end of it, right? Don't take no refunds, right? Then you kill two birds with one stone. You get to handle the scalpers, right? They'll drop off once they realize that you guys have produced more consoles than what are selling, right? And I'm not saying that you guys can't hit 10 million, but one of the problems when you guys do this stuff, and it's across the board with any company, right? They make something that's limited edition or make a collector's thing, and then scalpers come in, buy all the stuff, right? All the bots come in and buy everything, so then your fans can't get it. Should I roll that dice? Again, it's easy for me to say because I don't have that position, but like 10 million consoles that the first 4 or 5 million sell, then you have the rest for your fans, right? And so everybody gets a console, and it's continued. Look, the little things that the Xbox team has done right now. Look at the buzz. Look at the positivity. Look at what's being generated right now. And they've always done that, dude. Now they need to build on it. And again, be aggressive, man. Don't sit back. Don't let things happen, man. Make the things happen, right? And you guys gonna have to get hardcore, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Dang, the birds are back. Yeah, I should have wrote that other stuff down, dude. Maybe we'll revisit this conversation again. I'd love to see them do an E3 all Xbox E3 like do every day do E3, right? Like how we used to do back in the day. Right? Do like an E3 Xbox special. And make it like old E3, man. I'd bring back Booth Babes, right? I'd have the big floor, everything. But it's all Xbox. So you know how big Xbox is? You know how many teams that they have? And look, dude, if like the other guys want to come along for the ride, your partners, right? Your partners want to come for the ride. And some of you like, well, what about Sony and Nintendo? They won't come. They don't even come to this stuff when it was regular. They do their own shows, and that's fine. They can build out their own stuff all away, right? Please don't be putting their crap on the stuff, dude. Let them handle that, right? You guys do you, right? And you bring EA, dude. You bring Square Enix. You know all the guys that you have a good relationship right now. All the content that they're building, even if it's going to other consoles, that's okay. But focus on the Xbox brand. You know, build that environment, man. Show them that you mean business. I think that'd be a great way to go. Go to Comic Con, dude. Tell them you're bringing back your entertainment division. You're gonna be making your own Halo, right? You're gonna be making your own. I don't know. They're doing well with Amazon, and you can do partnerships with them, man. But it'd be great, dude. I remember when they did Halo, and they were at Comic Con, dude. That was awesome because you got the guys who were writing and they were talking about it. The celebrities were there, right? And they had a presence. You know, I thought that was pretty cool that they did that. I mean, man, the possibilities are endless. Again, bigger footprint in Japan, Tokyo Game Show. And then, wait, we got Gamescom, right? I don't know what's going on with Europe, though. But anyway, right? All that stuff, dude. I mean, yeah, man, if you guys are going to go all in all the way, man. Be the all in one box I want you to be. That's what I want. Go back in time. But that's just me. But just let me know what you guys think, man. I'm going to wrap it up a bit about an hour. I got stuff to do. But glad I got this stuff out. Maybe we'll do another podcast with the guys when they got time. Again, I apologize, man. I'm just doing this stuff whenever. And there's some other videos that I want to do, man. I just was watching some really cool stuff about angels and demons. It's kind of funny, man, as people become more curious because they can't, when there's a lot of things happening in the world that's unexplained, that's when people start to get more in tune with their spiritual side. And it's something that I've been enjoying watching. I saw a video earlier. There's this girl that was dabbling, or not dabbling, she was actually a witch and practicing witchcraft. She even showed the videos that she had. Felt bad for her, but she had a experience with Jesus, man, and she converted. And she was giving her testimony. I thought that's good. And you see that a lot of that happening right now in the world. So I'd love to do videos on that stuff as well. You guys know I do the politics stuff, right? But I try and keep it separate the best I can. But again, like I said in the other two videos I did, it's hard, man, because it's everywhere, unfortunately. But when it comes to Xbox, man, good job to Asha Sharma, man. Give her flowers. Even if some of the stuff they don't correct, man, I hope they do. I really do. Right? Because I think that's really overall. I mean, I think if they can get over that or get beyond that, I think they'll be fine. In fact, I think they'll excel. Right. And take your place, man. You guys should be the number one in the gaming industry. So anyway, Xbox Online channel. Emily Jack, don't know who you are. But thanks for the comment. No one is watching, but you're commenting, so that means you were watching. Or maybe you were just listening. I could be wrong. Anyway, thanks for being here. Like I said, dude, anybody can come on this channel. I do not care, dude. I've been talking about politics. I have people come in. I'll do commentary on social media. People come in and talk to me. Dude, you're not gonna change my mind. You're not gonna tell me anything I don't know. If you can, then respect. Then I'll listen. And if you can say that, if you prove me wrong, then definitely I'll apologize and I'll admit it. I have no problem. All right, but moving forward on this channel, we bleed green. Xbox Online channel. We'll say it forever. We up.